The Lieutenant Governor, Dan Forrest, joining us on the show. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Casey O'Day. How are you today?
I'm good. I saw some of your pictures. Realized you were up hobnobbing with the powerful elite in the form of the White House. Actually, it looked like a Department of Ed thing. So what were you doing up there?
Yeah. Well, we went up. We took a delegation of education folks, Board of Governors, Board of Education, stuff like that, folks up there to meet with the Department of Education, and I met with the secretary, met with the undersecretaries, the deputies, assistant secretaries, all that, to really just try to demystify the whole mess of the Department of Education. It's this vast tangled web of departments and so forth that you have to try to figure out who you're supposed to talk to and where you go to get things done. So we went up to talk to them about our needs in North Carolina, as well as, what they are doing across the country, what they're attempting to do across the country, and how we get engaged with that. So we're not missing out on opportunities here in North Carolina with the federal government, whether it be grants or opportunities for waivers for things and that sort of thing. So it was a long day. A long day of meetings, but it was good, and we kind of ended the day. Because I was in town, the White House invited me over to a bill signing, executive order signing for health care, so that was a fun little event as well.
Yeah. Do you feel that, you talked about the tangled web, do you feel that they're having any effect in untangling some of that under DeVos, or...?
Yeah, I really do. I was actually kind of surprised. I mean, some things are still lost in the web of acronyms. Everybody out there talks in all these acronyms. I'm like, whoa, slow down. What are we talking about here? And they still, sometimes people that have been there, kind of the career bureaucrat type of person that's been there for a long time, still talks about, like, this is how you get waivers for this, and this is how you get waivers for that. And I'm like, wait a minute, time out. Why do we still have to come to the federal government and say, Mother, may I? It's our money, right? We're sitting out there, let's stop this. How do we figure out how to stop this and just get control back to the local level again? And there's a bill out, proposed bill out by Mark Walker, North Carolina, congressman from the Greensboro area.
We talked to him
A+
on Monday.
Act.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then you talked about the A+ Act, probably, right? And that's the very purpose of it, to say get that control back to the local level. And so they're really working to do that. There's some good things going on in career and technical education up there. I think they're making some really good strides on how they're going to move forward with the PR effort to let people know that these are good jobs out there in career and technical education that oftentimes pay far more than somebody going and getting a 4-year degree and coming out with a lot of college debt. And so they're moving forward with some marketing and PR strategies that I think will be really good for America in that regard. And so there's a number of things here and there that I think will be helpful, but it's still a tangled mess, and that's why you just want to get that control back again to the local level and stop having so much of this broad oversight from the national bureaucracy.
Ooh, I hate correcting you, Dan, but you don't have to pay for your college if you vote for the right people. So
that's true. That's
yeah.
true.
What a gas that is. I think there's a lot of legitimate conversation over the charting the ever rising costs of a 4-year degree, and there's a bigger discussion also about the usefulness of some of the programs offered at a public school setting. That being said, that will do nothing to encourage, say, UNC, and I'm not picking on them, but I'm just going local, the UNC system to adjust one iota of pricing if they know on top of it the government might pay for it. It's only going to make it worse. It's like what happened with the loans, man.
That's right. That's exactly right. We've seen the cost of higher ed go up, skyrocket exponentially when the federal government got involved and said, oh, we're going to take care of all these loans and everybody that wants to go can go for this price and all this kind of stuff. And yes, I think that's certainly a huge factor in that. And, more importantly, we've got to we got to be transparent. One of the things that the Department of Ed has is this transparency schedule on there that says, here are the degrees that are offered, and here are the jobs with those degrees, and here's how much they pay, and here's how, so if you come out with this degree, here's what you're likely to make. I think this is the kind of counseling and kind of discussion that needs to happen early on with students and parents so that they know when they go get degree X from the university and they come out and they're going to have $40,000 in debt, but the job only pays $25,000 on average and there aren't any jobs available. They may think twice about that, but at the same time you'll look and say, oh, there's 25,000 computer science jobs out there right now, and the average pay is X, $75,000. Wouldn't it make more sense to go do that? Those are the kind of conversations that really aren't happening right now, but that information is available online through the Department of Education, and that's the kind of stuff we need to disseminate to the folks that are counseling our students and to the parents and so forth.
And employers, by the way, it's also information available in the standard news cycle. Employers here in North Carolina in many areas are beating their brains out trying to find people.
There's 25,000 jobs sitting out there, $2.5 billion worth of salaries waiting for somebody to fill just in North Carolina alone. And so why wouldn't we be nimble and efficient and be able to change on a dime within our education system to be able to say to these students, hey, these are great jobs. You can move in this direction, but we need to be able to train you to do it, and we're not doing that effectively right now.
Well, we're also giving waivers for teacher competency exams. I mean, there's some... there's a lot of things that need addressed, and it's not an attack on an individual teacher or the totality of it. It's really frustrating when you sit here and look at it. But those two key areas, specifically what you just talked about, those should be no-brainers right there.
That's right. That's right.
You know what? Hey, keeps me in business. So, all right. Yeah, so there's that. All right. Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest joining us. Good morning. Thank you.
As always, Casey. Great talking to you.
Yep. There you go.
All right. Bye now.
All right.